September 15th marks the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. Coinciding with the independence days of 7 Latin American countries, this month is a time to celebrate the cultural origins of the fastest growing demographic group in the country. So we're diving into America's rich Hispanic culture, a family of musicians in Houston honoring the music of their heritage.
It is very important to be proud of our roots because especially new generations like us, we can't forget where we, our parents, or our ancestors came from.
A student in California forging a new path for farm workers.
Then you read textbooks about great minds in engineering and you never really get to see anyone that's from the Latinx community, and for me that always hurt.
A family business famous for this cultural staple.
We are very proud because we love this country, we love the city.
And young athletes in Arizona building bridges in the face of walls.
We feel like one community, although we get separated.
In this show, we celebrate our differences that make us all unique and make this country strong. This is More in Common. The thesis of the show is that despite our differences, people have a lot more in common than they think. And perhaps no city in America better exemplifies this than Nogales, Arizona, which sits exactly on the border wall with Nogales, Mexico. Yet these kids are finding a way to connect across that wall through sports. Mary Lou, how much do you love tennis?
Like this much.
That much?
As much as my arms can go.
What's the difference between Nogales, Arizona and Nogales, Mexico?
I feel like the poverty. In Nogales, Arizona, there's a lot of poverty, but in Nogales, Mexico, it's more noticeable. Although we live so close, one side is such a difference than the other side, and I feel pretty lucky to live on this side of the border.
So you play tennis right over that wall?
Yeah, seems a pretty big wall, but we manage.
These two cities, even though they're in different countries,
yeah,
you think they feel like one place?
Yeah, we feel like one community, although we get separated.
This wall goes for hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
What do you think it would be like if it weren't there?
I don't really know. It's kind of sad because we get separated, but it's good because it's protecting us. Sometimes people don't have great intentions coming in. There's people who are being kept away from other people on one side of the border, and that's good because we have a sort of protection, but people are gonna try and get over. People are gonna try and do bad things. People are gonna do it the right way. I mean, at least we don't have a huge wall that we can't see people. Like, you know, there's things we can do about it.
Do you think the sport brings people closer together?
Yeah, I would say it does. Because of tennis, I've gotten to meet new people, make new friends, gotten to cross the border more often. It helps us to make as if that wall, that border wasn't there.
We just crossed the border into Mexico. Are you looking forward to playing some tennis over here? All right, let's do it.
Border Youth Tennis Exchange is a binational organization, so we work with kids on both sides of the border. Today we're really excited to have our two groups together, our American students and our Mexican students.
How much do you love tennis?
Es mi deporte favorito. Lo mejor es que somos de diferentes países y cada una tiene sus cualidades.
How do you feel about the border?
Pues me siento dividido de mi familia que vive allá porque ellos no pueden cruzar y algunos son migrantes. Mi mamá desde que era bebé me ha sacado la visa y siempre he podido cruzar yo.
When you're a local, it doesn't matter what country you are, you just go back and forth. You have family in the other side or have friends. People don't know this kind of dynamic we have.
People have this thinking that everything across the border is completely different, but tennis is tennis. They're the same points, same rules, same nets, same rackets.
These days in the media and politics, everybody gets kind of inundated by one narrative. People talk about undocumented immigration, they talk about drugs, and frankly, that is not the whole story. We're really trying to use tennis as a new lens to look at border communities.
Yo sentí que conocí a niños nuevos y también sentí que como que formaba un lazo con ellos. Me sentí muy bien conociendo a los del otro lado. Sí, algunos ya los conozco y con algunos ya hago amistad.
On the tennis court, we're separated with the net, but at the end of the tennis game, you have to greet the other person, you have to be nice. The border should be our tennis net, and we should all come together, you know?
Una, dos, tres, ¡va!
We filmed that piece back in 2018, and we want to check back in with Mary Lou to see how she's been doing since then. So let's call her up. Mary Lou, I've been playing a lot of tennis lately, so when I come back, I want to have a big matchup. Have you been playing a lot?
Yes, I have.
And who do you tend to practice with now?
I actually haven't been practicing, which is really has been really tough on me. I mean, I have my brother, but also the city closed the tennis court, so we can't go unless we play here at home, but it's just not the same.
Because of COVID, the ability to move across the border as everyone used to do. In fact, you'd go over and play games of tennis in Mexico. Yeah. That's all been stopped.
I mean, for example, me and my family, we can cross because we're citizens, but it's more for like people who have visas, travel visas, those people are the ones that they aren't really letting into the U.S. But crossing to Mexico, it's actually open to everyone. I still stand by my ideas that the border is a really great place to live. I'm super thankful for Byte just because of all the opportunities they've opened, just because living on the border can sometimes be really hard. They're saying they're gonna do this and this and this, and you've lived here all your life and you can't just imagine all these changes, and it's kind of scary, honestly. Because this is our future. There's just the thought of there's other kids growing up here, and they're saying they're gonna do all these things, and you just think, oh wow, their childhood. I mean, imagine how they're gonna be affected.
Coming up,
we play Norteno music. It's like Mexican music.
And later,
being able to come from this area and never walking into a room and being like, oh, I don't have to hide that I'm like a Mexican farm boy, field worker type person who grew up in a super poor rural community.
My name is Ricardo and I'm 10 years old. I'm Eileen and I'm 6 years old.
And I am Yaxeni and I'm 13 years old. Together we are
Los Luceros de Rio Verde.
We are from Houston, Texas.
We're sisters and brothers.
We play Norteno music. It's like Mexican music. I play the accordion.
I play the bass.
And I play the bajo sexto.
I always saw my dad sing and everything, and I was like, one day I'm gonna sing, one day I'm gonna play.
My mom, she was the first one that like tried to learn a little bit about the accordion.
She was like 7 years old when she just started to learn a little bit about the accordion. I teach her a song and that it was on YouTube, and I said, Yaxeni, let's see who can learn it faster. She got it like in 2 hours. I think it was more like a gift from God. Ricardo was really young. He was like 4 years old when he started singing. He couldn't even talk, but he was already singing.
I was like, I want to play an instrument. I want to learn something new. And my dad, he knew a little bit of the bajo sexto, and he showed me like the scales, everything.
My dad wanted it to be just here, play for the family, but a lot of people started sharing our videos on YouTube, and it was just so surprising.
Then I just said, I'm just gonna make a fan page for them. So I started doing that, and a lot of people got into the page, and now they have
almost 400,000 on YouTube.
We have 3 albums. Our first is Recordar es Vivir, our second is El Descendiente, and our third is Con Amor y Sentimiento. And the songs we have included there, Margarita and Open Up Your Heart.
Open up your heart and let my love come in.
Last year in November, we sang that song in the Mayor's Holiday Celebration. It was the first time that we've played for Houston. It was so special playing in the place that we live. We do travel all the United States, and we have played for a lot of large crowds.
When they play in Dallas, it was like 5,000 people.
I remember in Mexico, we played the first time, and we had like about 8,000 people. They invited us the second time, and then we had like 15,000 people. It was amazing.
When they were little, I saw them and like I wanted to be them.
When I first started, it was like, oh my God, how can I play it? Because it's like so hard. But now I'm good to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's thousands of people.
She gets so excited. Yeah, she gets so excited. And it's just like a dream come true.
And now the little one is the one that it's on the drums. I mean, we are not musicians. I think God really loves us a lot for giving us 4 kids with talents.
We don't see it as like we're famous, but I always thank God because He knows why we're in this place. And I think this is our mission. We are barely starting and there's a lot to learn. I would just like to grow with our music.
We last spoke to you about a year ago. What have you been up to since then?
Well, we've been working on our new CD with mariachi, and we have been recording a lot of songs in the studio, and we're also working a lot on our YouTube channel and on our social media.
Great stuff. How has COVID and the lockdown affected your band?
We can't go out and play in the open, and because many beginner bands and artists depend on music to live. But thankfully, God has helped us a lot, and we're doing great. We feel proud of our music because it's our raíces, our roots, and I just feel that our music is a way to connecting with other people. I say that it is very important to be proud of our roots because especially new generations like us, we can't forget where our parents or ancestors came from. And the music that we play, you know, sometimes I compare it to it as a book. Every book has a different story, and that's the same with songs. Every song has a different story. And sometimes remembering and going back to those songs that were back in the day, that type of music will just make you so much happier.
Thanks so much for your music, and it was so good to connect with you today.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Coming up after the break.
But I will always be a farm boy at heart, and I will always be super proud of where I come from.
And then
Empanadas is a national dish in Argentina. It's like a hamburgers over here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Xavier Hernandez started working in the fields when he was 14 in the small town of Woodlake, California. Now 27, he has a master's degree in STEM from the University of Southern California. He wants everyone to know your upbringing doesn't determine your future.
I really hope that being able to come from this area and never walking into a room and being like, oh, I don't have to hide that I'm like a Mexican farm boy field worker type person who grew up in a super poor rural community. I don't need to feel uncomfortable about not saying who I am. And I want every single person who grew up in these fields, I want them to be able to feel that they can like literally do anything that they set their mind to. So what we're checking for is we check to make sure that the water is being irrigated properly throughout the tree. We're here at Wilson Ranch. It's a ranch out here in Woodlake, California. This ranch is about 140 acres. It's a citrus ranch, and this is a beautiful view in the background of all the mountains in Sequoia National Park, a little bit beyond the clouds. I've been working here since I was about 14 years old, so over 10 years now. I love working the farm. It's been like a very awesome experience. It's almost like a form of therapy nowadays. My dad helps manage it, so he was the first one that was like, hey, let me show you kind of what hard work is. And I was like, oh, okay, this looks kind of fun. Until you realize after that first little hit of adrenaline kind of passes, you're like, wait, this is actually kind of hard work. And I give props to my dad for being able to be out here all the time and all the different field workers and farm workers and people across America that work in rural communities because it's really tough.
with dreams to be a rocket scientist, Xavier was accepted to University of Southern California.
It also became really difficult, and it was a little bit of a struggle. I got put on academic probation in the beginning because it was really difficult to make everything work. So USC was really awesome to me, and I started talking to them a little bit more about what I'd like to do, as well as with my friends. And that turned into wanting to decide to change my route into industrial and systems engineering, which was focused on more big picture problem solving, using statistics and probabilities to solve problems, which kind of deals a little bit more with what I want to deal with now.
Now with a master's in STEM, Xavier's purpose is to shed light on the Latinx community through a company he and his college friend founded called STEM and Create.
The very first time I ever felt like I was out of place was at USC. When you go to your classes and you meet professors, there's not a lot of professors that look like someone like me, come from a background similar like me, especially not like this. And not only that, but then you read textbooks and you read about examples. They start mentioning about famous people, great minds in engineering, and you never really get to see anyone that's from the Latinx community. And for me, that always hurt, and it made it a struggle. We started giving talks to people and educating people about what it was like growing up as a Latinx field worker, farm worker, and then also like being in the STEM field and getting really great jobs and being able to succeed. But we also struggled in the beginning, and that's the world I want people to understand, is that we experience a struggle that maybe other individuals don't or other groups don't. And we gave these really great speeches and stories to the point where I got asked to go to DC to go give a speech at the Capitol in a Senate building about why and how we could get more Latinx representation in the STEM field.
Even with all his success, Xavier never forgets where he comes from.
Something I take the most pride in is being able to come from the farm and being able to grow up here, because it's so different than the way the rest of the world grows up. My parents gave up their dreams to be able to see our dreams come true. It's crazy. We grew up in the dirt. Like we were here the whole time, like growing up on a farm, and now like, you know, I'm doing some of the coolest things at USC, and I'm flying across the country speaking in DC. But like my family has always inspired me so much, because being able to see them work that hard and give so much love to us, like that's the thing that matters to me, is like being able to give and show that love. I think is the most admirable and amazing thing anyone can do in the world. But I will always be a farm boy at heart, and I will always be super proud of where I come from. And I know no matter where I go, whether it's rocket science, designing cars, redesigning the way the world sees STEM education or education in itself, I will be and always have been a proud farm boy.
Coming up, a family business keeping tradition alive.
Respect the food, respect the ingredients, respect the customer. Empanadas is a national dish in Argentina. It's like a hamburgers over here.
Oh, yeah.
Original from Galicia, Spain, empanada, in between bread. We start making empanadas by hand. We're still doing the same way, the same recipe from grandma, her grandma, and my grandma. We made 1,200 to 1,500 empanadas a day. We start making the empanadas in a little teeny place. In 1986, 85, 86, the building caught on fire. We didn't have any insurance. We lost everything. But thanks God that we have this place is still working, and that we have a family. My family is original from Argentina in South America. I was a journalist there. I began my career in black and white TV and also newspaper. In 1967, I decided to come here by myself first, check it out everything, spend a year over here, looking in different places, and then I go back to Argentina. I pick up my wife, my 4 kids, my wife pregnant with the 5th one. Let's go to America. I was 31 years old when I came to Houston, and I needed to see if I can get a job in TV. They gave me a job for the first talk show in the Spanish language, 9 a.m. on Sundays. And I did it, Hola Amigos, a talk show with the community affairs issues. I did it 7 years. My wife, since I was a little young girl, was making empanadas all her life, empanadas and cookies. The alfajores was also a national or international cookie. This friend of mine who asked me can your wife make empanadas, please? We're going to celebrate my 25-year anniversary. We make 2 dozens. And then among those guests wasn't a food inspector. You are selling empanadas without permit. And I said, no, sir. And I say, hey, this is my friend. It's my friend. Oh, okay. Then you have a wonderful food. Come with me. And I said, oh, they're going to take me to police or what? No, sir. I will take you to a friend of mine. And then we start making empanadas and also alfajores from that particular place. We moved from there. After almost a year, we rented a house and we started making empanadas. We became very popular. The line of cars waiting for the empanadas wasn't incredible. All the medias came and did a story of me and my wife and the family. I remember clearly, we have tacos, we have pizza, and now we have empanada, the new adventure for the American people. We are very proud because we love this country, we love the city. One Good Friday night, cooking chiles rellenos in the kitchen, the building caught on fire. We didn't have any insurance, we lost everything. We were sitting in the front of the building and saying, now what? My life came down, everything, to the point that I was ready to say, well, I don't know what to do. I got retired from my TV station, and then with that money, with my savings, we say, okay, let's do it, and we did it. 17 years ago, we got this restaurant. People write on the wall, put the pictures. My dream come true. And inside the pies, you can put everything you like. Pork, chicken, beef, vegetables, and everything. We have a popular one, which is the beef gaucho, which is ground beef with onions, all cooked, spices, little pieces, boiled egg, olives. And then we have the chicken diablo, which is chicken with Italian tomato sauce. We have one they call Mamma Mia, chicken with tomato sauce and spices, and also jalapenos. Hot, spicy, very good. Gooseberry with cream cheese. Cream of corn with poblano pepper cream, perfect. S'mores with chocolate and marshmallows and cookies. Fig, cheese, and walnut, delicious.
Just a really good, homey kind of feeling kind of place, you know, and owners will come right up to you and sit with you at the table and talk to you. And
respect the food, respect the ingredients, respect the customers.
We started the show off on the border of Arizona and Mexico, and we're going to end it deep in South America, where my wife and I took our very first trip together, tangoing across the mountains of Patagonia.